Now the first one, we've talked about how to add our bank account, and there I explained how to add your domiciliary account, how to add your Naira account, and how to add your multiple accounts where we have the savings account and current account in a bank. Now the next area under banking is how do we enter fund transfer. It's possible that you can transfer money from one bank to another. It could even be from your domiciliary account to your savings account, or from savings account to your dorm account. Maybe you want to buy dollar to fund our dollar account, or maybe we want to sell dollar to fund our naira account, or it could be from dollar to dollar or naira to naira. Now to do your bank transfer in QuickBooks, you go to banking. Under banking, you see transfer fund. Transfer fund is the feature that helps you to transfer money from one bank to another. When you click transfer fund, you select the date you're transferring that fund. Now, for purpose of reference, some company takes this very serious. Some of them will say that form that you fill, local fund transfer form that you fill in the bank, anytime you want to transfer money, attach it to this window. Yeah. So here you just click attach. That means you need to scan that document and attach it. When you click attach here, let's fill the field first. Transfer fund from, let's say we're transferring from Diamond Bank. It will show us the balance we have in Diamond Bank. To which bank? Let's say we're transferring fund to another DOM account. The DOM account is not here. Let's say Echo Bank US dollar. If we look at this, there's no Echo Bank. You add new. So here we're adding a new bank, Echo Bank. The currency is dollars. Opening balance, you enter the dollar value. Let's say we have $10 there, we don't have much, which is why we are transferring. So assuming it's a new account, you leave it at 0. So let's assume it's a new account. So here our opening balance will be 0. You understand? Because it's a new account. The most important thing is you have stated that it's a dollar account. You click save and close. So you can see that Echo Bank USD, we don't have anything there. So if you are transferring, like let's say $10,000 from Diamond Bank to Echo Bank, so here you enter transfer amount 10,000. So under memo you can say being fund transfer from Diamond Bank to Echo Bank here. So this is the money. Then you click save and close. Before you click save and close, you can attach a document here. When I click attach, this is where I can attach my document. That means if you have already scanned that transfer form, then you select your computer. When you select it automatically, so this is where you select.
So where you have the attach, is it a
From here now, you see attach is here.
Yeah,
When you click here, yes, you just attach it to this section here. When you attach, you click save and close. So if I come back to my banking, use register, select my Echo Bank. Where is my Echo Bank? Okay, this is Echo Bank here. Click OK. You can see that in Echo Bank and I have 10,000. So which means there's a fund. So that means if I check my Diamond Bank now, it should have reduced by that same amount. Use register, Diamond Bank, okay. You can see Diamond Bank has reduced payments. These are payments, these deposits to 990. So that's how you do fund transfer. So now let's now do fund transfer from a dollar account to a naira account. This is very important. Let's assume, okay, let's say from naira to dollar, we are buying dollars. We want to fund, we are buying naira account to a dollar account. This is how you record that. Under banking, you click transfer fund. Transfer fund from, you select the naira account. Let's assume you are selecting from our Access Bank. Then transfer fund to, let's say we are selecting to, let me use this Echo Bank now. Now this is a naira account. This is a dollar account. Here you now select naira. We're transferring naira. How much are we deducting from Echo Bank? Let's say 200,000 naira. Now, what is our exchange rate? If our exchange rate says that dollar is now 375, you know what it means? 200,000 divided by 375 will give us the dollar value. So that dollar value will be added to our Echo Bank. So if I divide 200 375 divided by 375, that will give us $533. So that means what will come to our Echo Bank should be $533. So that means we have 10,533. So let's check, save and close. You can see you have changed the currency exchange rate. That means it's now 375. Anytime you change your exchange rate, system will tell you. You click yes. If I come to banking, use register, check our Echo Bank, click OK. You now see that EcoBank is now 533. You can see how it picks it because it's assuming that we use that $200 to buy dollar at 375. So the dollar equivalent will be added to EcoBank. Now let's check our Naira account. You can see this 200,000 Naira. So we deducted 200,000 Naira from Naira account to buy dollar at 375, which is 533, to pay into our Echo Bank. So yes, Echo Bank dollars.
We bought from.
What happened is that we withdrew 200,000 Naira to buy dollars at 375 Naira. So when you convert 200,000 Naira to dollar at 375, that will give you $533. So assuming that is all we deposited into the bank, so that's all we show. So that's why Echo Bank we have 533. So when you come to Echo Bank here, you see that we have 500 and you can see it here, 133. That's the balance in Echo Bank. Any question on transfer fund? Now, anytime you want to check your bank statements in QuickBooks, so anytime you want to check your bank statement in QuickBooks, you come to banking, use register. Then you select the bank, then you click OK. You see it here. So this is your bank register and all that. Now, a very important part of banking now that I want to discuss is how to do your reconciliation. Because at times the balance in your bank may be different from what you have in QuickBooks. Let's pick a bank report. This method I'm going to show, you can use it for all banks. So I'm going to pick one bank as an instance. Let's say Access Bank Savings. Now look at Access Bank Savings. We have 200,000 Naira as our balance. What if we now go to the bank? The bank is now saying, no, you don't have 200,000 Naira. What you have now is, let's say 192. It might be more, it might be less. The first question you will ask is, my QuickBook balance greater or lesser than my bank balance? If my QuickBook balance is greater than my bank balance, 200,000 Naira, and my bank is saying there's 192, that means my bank has deducted money somewhere that I'm not aware of. It could be a charge, it could be a debit transfer, or it could be maybe I gave my bank an order to pay someone, or it could be that I gave someone a check and I didn't remember to enter it in the system. Other way around, if my QuickBook balance is less than what I have in the bank, it could be that someone has paid money into my account and I'm not aware. You know, there are times when money will come to your account and you will not receive the alert quickly. So these are different scenarios. How do we reconcile that balance? You have to know something, that I'm going to be using an imaginary figure here. So most of the figures I'll be using will be assumed figure, not a real bank statement. Now, to do your reconciliation in QuickBook, this is the first place to start. You go to reconcile. You click reconcile. When you click reconcile, system will ask you which bank do you want to reconcile. You know we have several banks here. So you start with one, savings account. You click savings account. Now it will tell you what your beginning balance is. The beginning balance you have here is the balance as at the beginning of the month. At the beginning of the month, what you have in the system is, most times reconciliation is always advised that you do reconciliation every month at the end of the month. So if the beginning balance of the system is this, it's saying that the previous month has been reconciled. So this is what I have at the beginning of this month. Let's assume it's this month. This is what I have at the beginning. The ending balance here is not what you have in the system, it's what the bank is telling you. You understand? So if the bank is saying that we have 192,000 naira, you will enter 192,000 naira here. So the balance here is what you have in the bank, not what you have in the system. You check your bank statement. How much do you have in the bank? 192. You enter 192 here. Now you now check your statement again. Is there any charge? Bank may charge you for SMS. They may charge you for check. They may charge you for so many things. Then you will come here and say, yes, the bank charged me for the month. You now add all those little charge, ATM charges, SMS charges, checkbook, and all that. You sum them up. If they sum up to 525 naira, you enter them. It's an expenses to you, which means you need to take it to an account. So you now take it to what we call bank service charge account. Now, my advice is that because you have several banks, don't always lump all your charges together to one bank service charge. Separate the bank service charge for different banks. The reason is that there's a time will come, you may want to know the bank that is charging you more or less. So the advice is you come down here, you add new. We are doing the calculation for Access Bank. So you come here, you enter Access Bank Savings. Now, Access Bank Savings will now be a sub account of bank service charge. That means if you do this, you now have bank service charge, Access Bank, Savings, Diamond, and all that. You understand? So you want to separate this bank service charge for different banks. So you click OK, save, and close. So we can see now that we have added Access Savings under bank service charge. We can also add multiple accounts. Let's add another bank to show you. Add new, Echo Bank, sub account of bank service charge, save and close. If you come here, you can see that we have Access and Echo Bank. So this is how you separate the bank service charge account for each of the banks. So because you are reconciling savings account, you select savings account, that's Access Bank. Now the next one now is interest earned. For leaving your money in a bank, you can earn a particular interest, though it's small. It's an income to you. You come here, you enter the income, 23 naira. That money, no matter how small it is, it's still an income. It goes to an account called interest income account. So you check here, is anything like interest income? No. You add new. So you come here, you enter interest income. You click OK. Exactly. You don't have to use one interest income. You add a new, you now call it Access Bank. Sub account of interest income. Then you click OK. So you can see here too, it will help you to know which bank is paying you more interest on your money than other. You can see we have added our service charge, we've added the interest income. Then you will now click continue. You click continue. When you click continue, it will now show you your bank statement in Access Bank. Here we have checks and payments. All the payments you have made, you see it here. Here we have deposit. All the money coming to your bank, you see it. Now pay attention to this section. Here you can see the ending balance we have in the bank is 199,200. Cleared balance. Now our ending balance is what we have in the bank. Our cleared balance is what we have in QuickBooks, which is at the end of the month. So what we have in the bank different from what you have in it. So difference between QuickBooks balance and bank balance is 92,500. So the difference we are looking for now is 92,500. Where is this difference coming from? That's the question. Now you now look at your bank statements. You check this particular payment of 200,000 naira. Is it in the bank yet? Yes, you tick. If you tick this amount will change. You can see it. If I untick, you can see that it's 92,000 naira. Now, if you check this 200,000 naira, you check your bank statement. This one here, this 200,000 naira is in the bank. If it's in bank statements, yes. If it's there, you tick. That's how you check all the transaction. Anyone that is not there, you leave it. That means there's a payment that is yet to reflect in the bank, maybe unpresented check. Now you will come here too. Did someone pay money to my bank? Yes, 300,000 naira. Is it also in the bank statement? You tick yes. If you tick it, you will now see that the actual difference you're looking for is now 7,498. Now, you see here, what we have in QuickBook ending balance is 199. What we have in the bank is 192. If what we have in QuickBook is more than what we have in the bank, what it's telling us is that there is a payment of 7,498 that we are yet to capture in QuickBooks. So I will now assume, let's now assume a payment of 7,498. So I'll come here, I'll click write check, Access Bank Savings. I pay someone 7,498. Maybe I paid it for postage and delivery. I click save and close. You see now that 7,498 is now appearing here, which is the balance. By the time I will tick this, you can see now that the balance is 0. You understand? So that means our bank balance is 192, our QuickBook balance is now 192, which means there is a difference of 0. I will urge you to play this video very well. Anytime you want to do bank reconciliation, it's very, very important. What I did here is I had to assume figure, and the figure I'm assuming does not mean that if you do it if you follow this procedure, you will get your own right too.
But most of the times in the bank, most of the banks, most of the times they charge somebody more or double, say. So, and after to reconcile, attempt to reconcile it, is it the amount that we must get that 0?
No, it's not. Let me tell you some of the instances where you may not get 0. You have 1 million naira in your account in the bank, but the QuickBook is telling you that you have 1.5 million. There's a difference, right? Or let me put it like this: you have 1 million naira in QuickBooks, and the bank is telling you that you have 1.5 million naira, and you have given someone a check of 500,000 naira. Maybe your initial balance was 1,500,000 in bank, 1,500,000. You now give someone a check of 500,000 naira. That means your balance has reduced. But the person is here to take the money to the bank. At the end of the month, you cannot reconcile the two. The only thing is that in your report, you tell management that the difference between the balance of 1 million naira and the one in the bank is an unpresented check of 500,000 naira. You cannot go and meet the person to say, give me the check, I'm doing the reconciliation. It's not possible. So most of the time, you may not reconcile that balance. But the good thing is that you should be able to trace the difference, where it's coming from. Because the problem is if you cannot trace the difference, that's the problem. But if you can trace the difference and explain, fine. So it's not a must that your bank balance and your QuickBook balance will be the same. Any question on reconciliation? Any question on reconciliation? So this is the major part that you need to know in banking. Is there anything around banking, transaction or question around banking that you want to ask question on?
To reconcile, how to be summing up all the interest.
First, that's the first thing. What is this? Because one thing about bank reconciliation is that even though there is no transaction that takes place, even if you are starting a business today, check the end of the month, it must be different. Bank must charge you.
And there might even be interest.
Yes. So you see that there will always be something that will want to make you do reconciliation.
So if I have my bank statement, so I'll come here, I'll come in here.
Once you enter your bank charges, interest, your bank charges go to your bank service charge account, interest go to interest income account. You click continue. Once you come to this section here, this is like a statement. This is the check and payment side of your bank. This is the deposit. So all the money that has been paid into your bank. Let me explain. All the money that has been paid into your bank will come here. All the money that have been taken away from your bank are here. You understand? So now
checks. What is checks?
Checks and payments is like all the payment that you made.
No, I want to know particularly. Is it check?
No, the spelling for check in US. This is the spelling for check. Okay, in UK is QUE. Okay. It's American and British English. Yes, they are different. Okay. American and British English. So here you now check. You start from the check side. You ask yourself, QuickBook is telling me that I made a payment of 200,000 naira. You now check the payment side of your bank statement. Was it deducted from your bank? Yes. You tick. Yes. And as I'm going to untick this, let me start from the beginning. You can see that there's a difference. QuickBook balance is 99,000. Bank balance is 192. We want to reconcile this balance with the bank balance so that our difference will be 0. Now you look at the check payment side. 200,000 naira in QuickBook is in the bank statement. Yes. Sometimes you can have multiple 200,000 naira. That is why it's recommended that you always put your check number, because no two check numbers are the same. So what you use to differentiate will be the check number. Because you can take this 200,000 naira now and now see another 200,000 naira and be asking whether it's the same thing as this one. So you need to use the check number. So you see now that if I take this 200,000, you can see this has changed. Let me untick. You can see the initial value. When I take this, you can see this has changed. Again, there was a payment of 7,498. If I check my bank statement and it's there, I will tick. If you tick, it has changed. You can see that we are looking for a difference of 300. And there was a deposit of 300. If I tick that 300, you can see that it solves that. Then here I will now click save and close. So here, now what you have here is reconcile now. Now, yes. If I click my reconcile now, what we'll now do is that if I now go back to my Access Bank, I want to check my Access Bank balance, whether it's now 192, which is exactly what I have in the bank. So I will now come to use register, Access Bank savings. Okay. You can see my Access Bank is 192, which is exactly what I have in the banks. So that shows that I have truly reconciled. I can now start the new month with a new transaction. But though this area of reconciliation, we have clients that are facing a lot of challenges. Like when we did the setup for Wakana, they have accounts with all the banks. Where the problem might come in reconciliation is if you have multiple bank accounts, you have to do the reconciliation one. So there's something we are trying to do. We're trying to develop an application that can help you import your bank statement into QuickBooks. So you don't have to be entering those payments and deposits. Automatically, the system will be feeding your QuickBooks with all the bank transactions. So anything that happens in your bank today, you download your bank statement from your account, your internet banking in Excel, then you load them into QuickBooks. So as you load them automatically every day, you will see that even those charges too will also be taken care of. So everything that happens in the last 24 hours, you'll be loading into it. So at the end of the month, you realize that you don't need to do any reconciliation again. The only thing you need to do exactly is reconciling itself. All those bank charges are recorded. All those credit transfer are recorded automatically. The only thing now that may make your bank statement to be different from your QuickBooks balance is maybe there's a check they have issued to a customer and is here to present it. But in terms of tracking whether there's a transaction in the bank that you didn't record, that issue will be solved. So that's what we are. So that if you have multiple accounts, all you need to do is select all your accounts. The system will load your bank statements into the appropriate account. Yes. Wow. So when you could develop that one, you also develop here. We'll definitely let you know. Though the reason we started doing that is because a lot of clients are having challenges around bank reconciliation. You see that if you check their balance, what the QuickBook is telling them, alright, what QuickBook is telling them is different from what the bank is telling them. When you ask them to reconcile, there will be a problem. Exactly. When you have accounts with all the banks, where do you want to start from? And so when you now check those statements, you will see a lot of transactions and all that. Imagine a big company now where there's always transaction happening, payment, receipts, or someone that hasn't done a transaction for the past years. Okay, like the way you want to start now, when your boss called me, he said you want to start with 2013 balances. Assuming it's a business that have been receiving payment from 2013 to 2016, how do you think you want to enter that? But through that means now, all you need to be just be loading. Before you know, you get a transaction in QuickBooks immediately. All that. So it's something that will help to resolve that.